Hello, everyone, and welcome this Friday evening to the Front Row Racing Rough Cup, a Friday Cup with the Rough GT3. I'm your new special host, Dre. I'll be hosting this FRRUF Cup final session, round 8, I believe it is. I'm also joined in the booth with Adam 6400.
Evening, Dre.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Good, good. Uh, got a final going on here. Should be interesting.
It is final round. We've got a three-way title fight. We have Marcos is currently leading the way, but he is unfortunately unavailable tonight. So we have Iceman and David Harp, who can win the title from him tonight. So that should be very interesting to see what happens there. Okay, we should be going to track in a couple of minutes.
We also have, I just want to add, Front Row Racing Dave, keeping an eye on us, making sure things go smoothly.
I've got my whip ready in case you boys misbehave. I hope everybody's well tonight. And yeah, as the guys have said, there's a five-way battle for the title. Unfortunately, 3 drivers aren't here. So what do you reckon about that one, guys? Makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Definitely does.
It's, well, the guy who's 5th, Dave the Harp, and Iceman, who's 3rd, have a chance. So 2nd isn't here and others 4th. But Dave has to win the race because he's 18 points behind with 20 to gain. So he has to win, which he has. Has he won one?
I'm not sure about the Friday Cup. He's done well, at least.
He's doing well. He's doing well enough to be in the title fight. So there you go. That's an Iceman has obviously won one, so he will hope to win and be the first guy, I believe, to win more than one race this season, which is keeps it nice and open, which is always good for us. Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. We are at Monza, the GP circuit, which will be quite a long lap in these GT3 cars. They're not the most powerful, but it'll be interesting to see how the drivers react to this circuit they're used to driving in. I imagine most of them used to driving in F1 cars, really.
Also, just want to let.
I have got.
I'm so good.
I was just going to say, I've got a little bit of information for you that Iceman has won races already in the FRRUF Cup this season. He has won the same amount of races as the championship leader Marco. So if they end up on the same points, but Iceman wins today, I think Iceman had taken on a count back if he's on the same points as Marco's. So yeah, it's going to get interesting, but I'm sure you guys will run us through what the points are soon, and I can try and work out the maths as we go through the race.
So we'll have to do maths on the fly today, so be prepared for that.
A little honorary thing. I believe I got a question of the day worked out, so see if anybody knows that.
Like that, I imagine, doing a warm-up or something, leave us all scratching our heads somewhat. We should be ready to go in about a minute or so. But yeah, it should be.
Trey, I would just like to point out, you're not actually in the lobby.
Yes, I have to jump in. Sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah.
a key component to.
Okay, now just so everybody knows that Dre and Adam, they are very new to doing for a racing broadcasts. This is their first attempt at an official one, and Dre has been so focused on getting everything right, he missed the main key point, which is to actually be in the lobby that he's going to do the broadcast.
So I apologize for the blue screen that you're going to see for a second as I join.
Have a couple of them, right?
That's made. A little bit embarrassed about that, but it's a simple sign that doing this kind of stuff, it's not easy. It's so easy to miss tiny little things. Yes, Dre. Oh, I just realised while it's on blue screen, while it's on blue screen, viewers can hear me. But I was just saying there that it is difficult for people to do the broadcasting and stuff like that. There's a lot for them to do. So for Dre and Adam, it's going to be an interesting session for them. But yeah, we're not going to let you live that one down, Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, Bleeding Sunrise in F1 totally forgot to allow everybody's microphone to be on the broadcast for 10 minutes, and I think
That's
you may have just
impressive.
beaten him with that one. But okay, I'll hand over to you guys now for the commentary while we all have a little chuckle about that one. Good luck.
Thanks, man. So yes, we start with a 10-minute qualifying session, I believe, where the grid will be decided. Then we have a quick 5-minute warm-up where the guys can spend a little bit of time familiarising themselves and doing general race prep. And then we have a 14-lap race, not a lot of laps, but like I say, it's quite a long track in these cars. And qualifying is underway.
Drive out and get monitoring these guys real quick. See who jumped out first.
So we
Dave.
have on track. Dave the Half is on track, straight out. James Holcomb, quite a big queue actually going out straight away. Iceman's on track. Again, so the two rivals out straight, championship contenders out straight away.
So, just a quick rundown of the points. People can understand what we got going on here. We've got Dave the Hopper, as I follow him. He's 5th in the points. Currently stands a slim chance to take it. Made better by the fact that we have a few guys out today. You want to talk about that?
We do, yes. We have, I believe, FRRUF is out today, lies 2nd in the championship. Actually led the championship for quite a while until Marcus overtook him last round. Marcus, as we've already said, is also out, championship leader. He can win the title tonight by not being on track at all, which would be quite impressive. And the other one, I believe, is FGR Racing is also out tonight. So he's unfortunately out of contention, as is unfortunately FRRUF. But yeah, we still have three guys in this. And Elto is out of the championship fight by 1 point, which is extremely unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. Maybe he can raise a stink though and make it really interesting.
He can throw himself in the mix, see what happens. But we are, I believe, the champion. Oh, what are the maths now? If Dave the Harp wins the race and Iceman is lower than 3rd, he is champion. And I believe if Iceman basically beats Dave and is either P1 or P2, he is champion. That's what you've got to look out for tonight, people.
P1, 2 or 3, so Iceman can
is he
finish
P1, 2 or 3?
3rd or above, yeah.
Oh wow, that makes it even easier for him, fair enough. Well, easier in a, you know...
Nah, one thing I've learned as a driver, nothing's easy in front row racing. So I know some of these guys make it look easy, but it is not.
Well, it's very easy, like Vettel used to say a lot, it's very easy to lead from the front, but it looks a hell of a lot more easier than it is.
Yes, that's for sure.
So, the drivers will be starting their first laps now. I believe Dover
See what we got out here.
440 will be the first man to set a lap.
Pretty fast track. Few straights to go, and the turns aren't too bad. You can fly through them pretty good. So, yeah, this would be where Dave would tell you about you know, the names of the turns as they come down into such and such. But with it being an Italian track, you're not gonna get that from me.
Well, so I know Ascari and Parabolica and the Lesmos, that's about it. So about half of them. So, you know.
As an American, I would just slaughter those names, so I'm not gonna do it.
I was going to say, as an American, you don't know corners at all, do you?
Yes, left turns. Lots of left turns.
No left, yeah, well. Of course, in the Indy 500 this weekend, so...
So I just want to interrupt a second quickly, guys. I can just see that we are having a few visual problems on YouTube. Nothing to panic about at the moment. Just to let the viewers know that during warm-up we may stop the stream and restart it again. Also, just to let you know, Dre, that as well. So at the end of the qualifying session, we'll run through the quali order, but during the warm-up session we may do a little reset of the stream.
Iceman. So, first lap time's coming across. Iceman is currently P1, Hulkenberg P2, Dover 440. Dave the Harp's actually quite far down for him anyway. P4. Snatch in P5. Oh, this is. I'll wait till they all cross the line. Infinitely better idea.
Give me a minute. I'm just taking a peek to see what how that looks. See if there's anything I can adjust.
Okay, no worries, man.
I wouldn't worry about the live stream at the moment, Dre, unless you've got things that's on the internet.
You know, it's funny. I looked. I went to pull it up on YouTube and take a peek, and the thumbnail on YouTube is the blue screen. How horrible is that?
Oh, that's bad. When there is actually cars going round, people, we do have that.
Just stamped
Anyway,
me. That's terrible.
Quick rundown of the origin of the lap times after the first round of laps. So we have Iceman, like I said, in P1. He's doing a 1:47.0. James Hulkenberg doing well in P2, 6/10 off. Dover 440 P3 is a good start for him. David De Haaf only P4, but he's always been able to make progress in races. Start Snatch is still P5. Duo Finn is P6. I haven't seen him that much in this championship. That's a good start for him. Dex Drummond, a DTM driver, is P7, 2.5 seconds off the pace at the moment. Another DTM driver, Stigby Rob, is P8. He and Etel are very close, 0.03 of a second apart. Etel's P9. We have Fastman in P10, 3 seconds off the pace, and then Whittle Waskell, that's going to be an insane name to say over the race, in P11, and Caseley is in P12, 10 seconds off the pace. Is he racing tonight?
Caseley is racing tonight. He said he's gonna have a go. He's not driven on Project Cars before, so he's gonna give it a go. NGR Danzo is also on a lap at the moment.
There we go. Let's see what he can do. His first sector is reasonable. It's not the world on fire, but he should be on for a reasonable lap time at this rate. Mid sector about the same. Caseley's actually improved. He's now 8 seconds on pace. But yeah, that would be interesting to see how he can do. He's
this top part of the order is interesting. These are guys, except for Dave De Haaf, these are guys that usually aren't up top notch. So that's good to see.
No, it is, yeah, very much so. It's interesting. Dover 440 especially is not a guy I've seen as high up as this before. So hopefully he can go well. Iceman's doing at the moment everything he needs to do to seal the championship. P1. James Hulkenberg, P2. That's a good result for him. He used to be up there. But yeah, it should be a close one.
The interesting thing about Iceman, to the best of my knowledge, is he hasn't been, super dominant. He's had to work for it, so
yeah,
this will be a well-deserved championship if he can pull it off. As with anybody, honestly.
Well, I think they've all done well, of course. But yeah, I think Iceman's really been going for this year. But yeah,
me personally, when I hop in the race, I really don't like the car itself. I don't like how it feels, and it's even though we raced this setting on Friday with the Rough Cup, it's mild default settings, and it's supposed to level it out, but I just can't drive this car. So, but a lot of people can, and it makes it interesting.
A lot of people are doing it. The default setups do. Oh, Dover 440's gone to P1. Sorry we'll go back to that in a minute. But Dover 440's the first man under the 147s in P1. But yeah, it is interesting. It does level the playing field somewhat, but only if you can get to grips with these cars, which people who've been watching this for a while will know that I don't particularly like GT3 cars either. So, great commentary team. Neither of us really like the cars.
Well, to be clear, I race GT3. I like the cars, just not this car.
This car specifically, fair enough. No, I don't get along with most of them really. But yeah, this what's different? What would you say was different about this one compared to some of the other ones?
It feels boxy. It's not very fun to drive. It's just kind of stiff and boxy to me. Again, I drive the Audi.
Well, that's.
So the Audi is kind of it's darty and it's responsive, and this one just kind of feels like it's just going through the motions, which is incredible because it's a fast car, and to be doing what it's doing and just to feel like it's not doing anything, it should be easy, but I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Well, I guess just some people don't get along with. Not everyone gets along with every car. That's life, really, I guess. But yeah, we still have Dover 440 still P1. He's in the garage at the moment. Iceman can't do anything about him in P2 at the moment, but of course because there's no tyre wear, and the fuel is ineffective, I believe, these drivers could just pound around for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this is a good track for it. I mean, it should be tight racing, but it's all about the lines. That's what I've noticed. You know, you got to have a good line coming through, and as long as you have that good line, you're gonna be fast.
Well, through a couple of the faster corners of this track, Parabolica especially, at the exit of that's going to be so important for these guys tonight. Because if you get that wrong in the race, you're going all the way down the back straight, and you're losing time to the guy potentially behind you. Even those default setups.
Also important is the braking points.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, that's okay. So qualifying is over. You'll see that on your screens now. So yeah, we have Dover 440 on pole. Iceman is second. James Hockenberg is third. David Hart fourth. And I believe Juho Finn is fifth. I said that really weird. Sart Snatch is sixth. Good result for him. I haven't seen him much in these, so good. Well done to him. Etel seventh. Dex Drum is eighth. Stigley Rob ninth. Fastman is 10th. Whittle Warskell is 11th. K-Slay has bumped in, and K-Slay holds the final position in P12. So now we have a quick 5-minute warm-up session.
We do. I'm just going to intervene at this moment. So apologies to the viewers. We're just going to take a moment to restart the stream. So this stream's going to come to an end in a second. So apologies for that.
Time for the race to start. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties to make it interesting today.
Try the better quality now. So quick countdown till the race starts. Yeah, should be an interesting one. So we have Dover 440 and Iceman on the front row. It'll be fascinating to see how Iceman attacks this first corner, given his championship credentials, which he'll be fully aware of. So let's see what happens.
We take it to the front.
Get up to the front, go. And Dover 440 is in the lead. Hulkenberg's jumped Iceman into second. Not actually third. David Hart drops to fifth.
3, 4. We're trying to make it 4 wide.
Ooh. That was close.
Oh, what a battle, man. It's a mess of cars right there.
Kicked off behind that, didn't it? My God, they're all still in a big gaggle at the back. Look at that, positions 6 through 10. K-Slay's jumped himself up to 7th. It's a really good start for him, actually.
Yeah, see,
dropped a couple of positions.
I figured this race would go like this with this car. Nice and tight because of the track. It's a good track for this car.
Yeah. Ooh,
oh, they're beating and banging. Who is that?
Yeah, it's messy, but I suppose that's to be expected. Those Cubs look vicious as well. Really
you got to love that, though. I mean, they're beating and banging in the turns, but then it works out and they're all coming through unscathed. Yeah. No car spinning around, or as I say that, somebody gets slowed down.
Everyone's facing the right direction. Just one person in the gravel trap, which I believe was potentially Juho Finn, which is unfortunate for him. So, what's that? Up at the front, Dover 440, closely pursued by Iceman. Those two have pulled away at the front. That's a 2-second gap. Ooh, Iceman got a big jump over the curb there.
Wow, these cars are all banged up.
They really are, especially from like 7 through 10 or something. Ooh, K-Slay's got past.
Iceman's trying to overtake Dover at the front.
Yes, I'm up here.
Inside the Parabolica. There's going to be the run down to the straight to turn 1 now. Who's got...
Look, they're side by side. This is awesome.
Look at this. Iceman gets this lead. He's going to want to run away. Who's going to have the...
neck and neck. It's going to be the break point.
Who's going to have it under braking? Iceman's got the inside line, but Dover 440 will try and hang it around the outside. He's not...
Oh!
They make contact. He's just saved it. He's got away with it. P2, but Iceman has the lead.
And that's going to be an interesting battle.
That will be. Let's see if Dover 440 can do anything about that.
You know he's not going to go. He's not going to go away quietly. That's for sure. Oh,
No, he will not. He will want this win. He took pole. He's going to want to convert it into a victory. He won't go for the dive.
Yeah. Oh, when one really sideways, who's that? Oh, I can't tell who it is.
Project Cars does do that sometimes. Apologies if you are having technical difficulties there. Sometimes Project Cars can do that.
Yeah, one car in particular just sideways through the whole track. Just to add to our beautiful first broadcast.
Dover, like you said, Dover 440 not going away from Iceman. Really close.
As we follow this battle now, we might see the same thing that happened last lap where they switch it up again.
Hoping so. That'll be a satisfying moment for Dover to get him back in the same place. He's closing into Parabolica. Iceman looked faster here last time out. He's got an Aston Martin Racing livery on his Porsche 911, as you do. Let's see if Dover 440 can get some of the slipstream down here. Who's P3? Dave the Hart will be watching this battle with a lot of interest.
I noticed Dave just sitting back there quietly.
Yeah, just waiting, just watching and waiting. Dover 440's gone for the outside line. Could be a very similar instance to last lap if he's not careful. No, he's too far back. He'll tuck back in.
Oh. No. Wasn't able to do it. I think he got into the back of him a little bit. I heard some noise there, but as for everybody else back here, still pretty tight.
Yeah, oh, someone going across. Stigby Rob just took a trip across the chicane. Caselow's got himself up to 5th. This is a good drive so far from him. 5 through 7 all still close. Ooh, Stigby Rob and Whittle Waskell. That name. Going at it in P8 and P9.
Just want to add to Project Cars 2 is supposed to enhance all the replay and the broadcasting things, so we shouldn't see anything like this as James Hulkenberg drifts the entire course. Almost exactly sideways.
Well, power sliding's exciting, I guess. But yes, on the Project Cars front, we are still looking for admins here at Front Row Racing. If you want to get involved with hosting these races or commentating on them, doing the behind the scenes admin stuff like the points table and setting up the lobbies, etc. So we are still advertising for that on our Facebook page, I believe, and then maybe an advert on YouTube as well.
For anyone that's got better streaming capabilities than me.
You're very good so far. Dover 440 is very close again. We keep coming back to this battle every lap, but it's exciting. And Dover 440 is very close to Iceman this lap. He must have a go here.
Oh, he's knocking.
You see what he can do? Oh, he's gone for the outside again. Oh no, he's switched back to the inside. He wants that inside line, but Iceman's not going to give it to him.
He's trying to hit that crossover on him. I think maybe he just been warming up for this right here. See how close he can cut it. See, no, can't do it again. It seems to be where he wants to pass it in those S's, but he can't seem to cut it right. So
yeah, he can't get the right line through there. But every lap he's learning what Iceman's, because Iceman's had more or less the same defense every lap. He's learning what he's doing. He's trying to find different ways. So this one may continue for a while. Dave Hart may be fractionally closing on them as they battle through turn 1, and Hulkenberg and Caseley are getting close in P4 and P5.
I believe Dave is closing on him. Slowly, but...
This could be slowly but surely.
Last lap, Dave the Harp gained 0.4 of a second on the race leader, so he is gaining a tiny bit each lap.
Well, Dover will be able to see him in his rearview mirror, or if he's got it turned on, he'll know he's there. Put it that way. So he'll be more than aware that Dave the Harp is slowly coming. Like Dave says, 0.4 on the last lap. So we'll see what they can do this time.
Kind of gone into a single file type of NASCAR boringness right here, but I'm sure it'll work itself out.
So was that a nat warning you've just had there, Dre?
I did not see it, no.
Oh, okay, no problem, ignore me.
Oh, Dover tries the inside.
He's attacking again.
Dover again. Iceman's sticking to that inside line like glue. Dover really wants it though.
And you see Dover trying to make a mistake right now because he knows he's on that best line.
Yeah, he knows if he can get the drive out of turn 2. Iceman is solidly defending.
And he tries to push him. He can't get him off of that line. And he knows that's the best line.
Yeah.
That's the only way he's gonna be able to pass him is if he makes a mistake. Seems like. With the cars being
Iceman's
even.
got one defense and that is working.
Yeah. With the cars being even, if he doesn't come off of that line, then he's off.
They're going for it into turn 4 though. Dover again on the outside. Iceman's just sticking to the inside line, and at the moment it's working. But this is all allowing Dave to close up, as we know battling is not the fastest way around the racetrack.
It's kind of shocking that the way he's all over him everywhere else, he can't make the pass.
You'd imagine if he could, he will think if he can get the lead, he can pull away at the moment, but it just isn't happening for him at the moment. Iceman's got defensive again, very early down the back straight. We'll see what he can do, but Ascari
he has him here.
Overtaking place. This could be it. Dover, he's got his nose ahead, but if Iceman's late on the brakes,
Iceman not backing down. Wow, that's some good racing right there.
Look at how much that's allowed Dave the Harp to catch up, though. Just to update you, as well as Dover is going for the move again, Casely did get past Hulkenberg.
Casely's passed Hulkenberg for people, so that's a very good reason start for him. Dover's round the outside. Round the outside of Parabolica. What a move.
But can't finish, no. You know, and I mentioned that these cars are easy to drive. Those two guys right now, it's not easy for them. I'm sorry.
Not easy at all. And it's Dover 440.
Look at Dave posing.
We have exactly the same thing. Dover 440 again on the outside.
Now a 3-car battle.
I think I'm having some
Oh no!
Hearing you, so apologies if I interrupt you at all.
Okay, folks, for anyone that's been watching the live stream and been having problems there, obviously we apologise about that. Hopefully you'll be able to hear Dre and Adam 4600 in the commentary box with us still. But one of the reasons of doing the live streams is to test if we have any problems. A few things that have happened while, unfortunately, we had the technical difficulties. Dover 440 managed to get ahead of... Dover 440 managed to get ahead of Iceman, but Dave Harp's just had a massive off at the between the Lesmos, and that's ruined his opportunity effectively of taking the title here, because he was attacking Iceman. The situation being that Iceman needs to finish 3rd or higher to win the FRRUF Cup title. However, if Dave the Harp finishes ahead of Iceman or wins the race, Dave the Harp could win it. So it's an interesting situation at the moment, as we've got 7 laps remaining with Dover in 1st, Iceman in 2nd, Casely now into 3rd, Dave the Harp 4th, James Hulkenberg 5th, Eltel 6th, Dex in 7th, and he's got Stig v Rob right behind him, B Fastman in 9th, Whittle Waskell in 10th, Sart Satch in 11th, Duofin in 12th, and Danzo in 13th. Well, let's get back on board with the battle up at the front, because it looks like Dover 440 is about to come under attack from Iceman there, Adam.
He is, yeah. Dover 440 is not defended in the same way Iceman did, covering the inside line, and that could be punished here as Iceman dives for it. Casely's nibbling all over to see if he can get anything as well, but Iceman takes the lead in a good move from Dover 440. Oh, they really nearly make contact there. They got away with it, and now Casely, look at them, they're so close. Casely is all over the back of Iceman now, but Iceman's all over the back of Dover 440. Casely's going to try it around the outside of turn 3. If you give him the inside line for turn 4, nope, Iceman's defended well.
Yep, so Iceman then he's managed to keep hold of 2nd place, but the problem is the more that he fights with Iceman, the more Dave the Harp's going to catch up to him, and the more Dave the Harp's going to want to attack. But what a fantastic 5-car battle we've got going into the last 5.5 laps of this race. We've mentioned about the points. Around the outside of Casely. That is Dave Harper around the outside of Casely, heading up to Ascari, and I'm wondering. He may have done. Oh, Iceman had a look at Dover. Iceman had a look at Dover. That's compromised him, though. Here comes Dave the Harp now. If Dave the Harp manages to get past, he's going to get very interested indeed, but he's not quite able to do it. I just do want to mention again as well, though, I mean, Dre must be rather frustrated at the moment. I wouldn't beat yourself up too much, mate. The technical difficulties during the race are not as bad as not being in the lobby in the first place, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But it is frustrating, and we can have a little chat about it afterwards. Casely having a look at the back of Dave the Harp now, Adam.
He is. He's got the inside line, but can he keep the straight line speed? He can as well. He's got a slightly better exit, I think. Hulkenberg's looking at this battle, but if he's brave on the brakes, he should be able to make the move here. Can he do it? Oh, I think he's... Yes. He's done it. Can he keep it in? He has.
Up at the front though, Iceman had a look at attacking Dover and it didn't work, and now Casely's on the back of him and Hulkenberg's on the back of Dave the Harp now. 5
cars could win this race. Any of these 5 could win this race, and they fully deserve it. Casely is all over the back of Iceman here. See what we can do. Dover 440 needs to sprint now and sprint hard.
He does. I think Hulkenberg. Yes, Hulkenberg has just got past Dave the Harp.
Dave the Harp. His championship title credentials taking a battering there as Hulkenberg gets in P4.
Oh, has Hulkenberg ran wide at the first Lesmo? No, he hasn't. But Iceman has ran wide at the second Lesmo.
A little bit of gravel, that could give Casely an opportunity for P2, but Iceman only needs P3. He only needs P3 from this and might not want to fight. Well, you say you might want to fight this too hard, but there's 2 other cars behind him. They were 20 seconds down the road, but he's done it at Casely's. Oh, he's coming back at him, no. No, couldn't do the move there, but Casely is now up into P2, so Iceman is on the bubble.
Well, let's see. I mean, Dave the Harp needs 18 points to match Marco's at the top of the standings. However, there isn't an 18-point position. There's 20 for first and 16 for second. So Dave the Harp needs to win to have a chance. Iceman, though, he is in position. Well, actually, I mean, he's in third now. He is in position to win, because that would put him on 64 points, wouldn't it, Dre? And on the count back, he'd take the win.
Yep, third or better will get him the win, and with Dave the Harp, he needs to finish first, but that put Iceman to finish 4th or lower, with Dave going first to win.
Well, Dave the Harp's trying to attack James Hulkenberg down towards turn 1, but unfortunately, with these cars being on default setup as Dave the Harp's into the barrier, I was about to say, with these cars on default setup, Adam, the straight line speed is the same for all of them, isn't it?
Exactly the same. It's all about the exit off Parabolica for this. Into turn 1, it's all about, if you get a good exit, slipstream, you'll be able to scythe past the other guy, and that's not quite what Dover 440 was managing to do, but he's got past Iceman now, and he's under attack from Casely actually, so Casely could, having not driven on Project Cars for ages, go on and win this thing.
That he could. Well, he has driven on Project Cars quite a bit. I was being a bit cheeky with the comment I made earlier. I mean, Casely is obviously a Project Cars champion in front row racing, and did very well. I think he won both championships in the same season as Dave the Harp's got an opportunity of doing here. So, I mean, Casely 1 is no slouch whatsoever. So, for the likes of Dover 440, Iceman, to be competitive with him just goes to show how good these guys are.
Exactly is, and for Dover to have held the lead for this long with 4 other cars behind him, all of whom will want it just as much as he's done, is very impressive so far, but it's whether he can hold it for the next 3 and a bit laps as Casely puts him under pressure into Parabolica.
Yeah, Casely was a lot later on the brakes there. It's taken him very wide around the Parabolica, and here comes the Iceman trying to catch up to the back of Casely. As Dave the Harp in the background trying to catch up to James Hulkenberg, but Casely's got a fantastic run on this occasion. He's going to have to go for it. He's got an opportunity. To the inside he goes then, and Dover 440's not going to give it up easy, I don't think. But Casely has managed to squeeze into the lead, but has he gone deep? Yes, he has. Ooh. Dover 440 going for a switchback, and Dave the Harp in the background completely missing the chicane. That's compromised him massively as he gives the position back, and Casely just holding on to second place, but Iceman trying to go all the way around the outside of Curva Grande.
He can do this, it'll give him the inside line for turn 4, but he can't quite do it, although if he's brave on the brakes through here. But it's a hard corner to overtake. These curbs are nasty, and he can't.
Oh, Dover's off! Dover's lost it! Casely's lost it as well! That's freed up Iceman into the lead of this race. He's on course for taking the championship here and now. But Hulkenberg, he's now into second place, with Dover 440 recovered into third. Dave the Harp's now in fourth, and Casely's down in fifth, and he's about to be attacked by ILTEL.
That incredible couple of corners.
As I sit here looking at my PlayStation 4 menu, I'm just I'm just reminded. I did make a question of the day, so If I can just throw this out here real quick.
Absolutely.
Who was it that took the pole? I mean, yes, the pole position in the last race here in 2016.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'll answer that in a moment.
Oh,
I'll answer that in a moment. Just want to let everyone know that James Hulkenberg has just had a power boost penalty at the exit of Vascari. That's allowed Dover up into second place, but Iceman is so far ahead now, I don't think Dover's going to catch him. Okay, do you mean in official F1 who finished on pole here?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. The official F1 races.
Was it Hamilton?
Yes, it was. Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes.
It's a good job you said that.
Start.
I was going to say
points.
Rosberg.
Do you know how he finished?
He's like P4 or P3 or something, wasn't he? Because he had that shocking start.
P2.
P2.
Not bad.
Oh wow, good recovery drive. Although he had a Mercedes in 2016, so you know. There you go. Anyway.
Well, it was a good question. I didn't know. I couldn't remember who it was. Okay.
Oh, that was tough actually, because you think you know it's one of the Mercedes. It's like, which one? They were both quite good, and then one of them retired. Anyway.
Okay, so we're on to the last lap and a half now, guys, and I can imagine, Dre, it's very frustrating for you having watched the first half of the race, and then when the big action kicks off, you can't see it, unfortunately. But I mean, Iceman, yeah. It couldn't have gone any better for him, really. Well, it could have done. We could have had a fantastic battle for the last couple of laps, but instead he's going to have a nice, comfortable drive for one more lap to take the FRRUF Cup Championship. I mean, Adam, if you're Dover or if you're Dave the Harp, what do you think is going through their minds at the moment?
Dover's going to be... well, if I was him, I'd be kicking myself, because he had a good shot at a win there, and he's one spin has cost him, and that is really all it takes. And now he's got a 5-6 second gap to Iceman, which, as Iceman's about to start his final lap of this season's FFRR Cup, unless Iceman makes a mistake, it's not going to happen. David Hart's going to be... I don't know what really happened to him. He got caught up in the battle with James Hulkenberg, and it hasn't really come together for him this race, which is unfortunate, but he's well in contention for the DTM title, so can sort himself with that.
That he can. Okay, so Iceman then, he is on the last lap of the race. And it was interesting as well. I was going to mention when Casely was got into the middle of that battle, Casely was always someone that was good at being late on the brakes, and a couple of occasions there he did what he usually would into Parabolica, being late on the brakes, and he tried it again into the second chicane. It didn't quite work for him. It may have been tagged from behind by Iceman, but it looked like Dover 440 was already losing control of his car just before that actually happened. But
James Hulkenberg power boost penalty. David Hart's up into third, and Casey's in fourth now.
I've had some interesting interactions with Casey, because, like you said, he's late to the brakes, and I'm kind of early, so that makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be, if he's following you, he's going to be thinking, I'll brake here, and that's so you've got to watch the guy front brake lights. It's so important in these.
That is true. Adam, if you can have a quick look through the order and see if we've got any battles kicking off on this final lap, as Iceman is heading up towards the Parabolica. He is going to take the victory here in Monza, and he is going to take the FRRUF Cup in the RUF GT3s. Fantastic final way to finish it. Go on, Adam, what you got for us?
Hit each other.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We'll get to that in a moment as Iceman... Okay, Iceman is about to cross the line, so it is the win. It is the title for Iceman. Fantastic job by him today. Dover 440 crosses the line in second. He'll feel it should have been first. Dave the Harp's going to cross the line in third place. He'll be happy enough with the podium, but I'm sure he will feel he had enough to win it. Hulkenberg is going to cross the line in fourth place, with IL Tell now right behind him in fifth place. Oh no, Hulkenberg does just cross the line. Stig V Rob crosses the line in sixth. Casely, a lot of damage on the front end of his car. Seventh place for him. Oh, we've got a battle. Dex and Fastman, 8th and 9th. And it is still 8th and 9th. Yeah, it was. Satch takes 10th, Whittle Waskell takes 11th, Duo Finn, he had a good qualifying, unfortunately a race not gone to plan for him, but although his car is looking the cleanest out there at the moment, 12th place for Duo Finn, and then in 13th place we have NGR Danzo. But I mean, Dre, I know you'll be frustrated about the way the broadcast has gone there, but don't worry about it, I'm sure we can edit something together. But your thoughts on the race there, and how it sort of ended up with Iceman benefiting from Dover spinning out there.
Well, as I said, it kind of dulled down and there was single file for a minute. I knew with this track it was going to pick back up and it would, something would be interesting going down. So, unfortunately, I couldn't see it.
That is very, very true. And Adam, what about yourself? Your thoughts on the race there?
Great race for me. It was we had 5 cars at one point who could have won it. Iceman's come through in style to win his championship, it has to be said. He didn't quite take fastest lap, but he's got that all-important win, and a good result for Dover 440 in second. That's, I believe, his best result of the season. And James Hulkenberg noteworthy as well in P4. That's a good result for him.
That is true.
Yeah,
would you guys like to have a little chat with Iceman LUFC?
That's an excellent idea.
Okay, if one of you guys could recommend him to me in the chat party, and then I'll send him an invite and we'll get him in for a little bit of a chat. I just hope that my recording settings have been able to pick up your guys' comments. If they haven't, then this recording won't really have worked too well. But hopefully. It has worked and we've been able to put something together for everybody. So if you can let me know when it's been suggested to me, and I'll drop him an invite into the chat party. Okay, so as we get ready then for the podium interview with one driver, we're being a little bit selfish today, but one driver and one driver only, Iceman LUFC, who, having won that race, is now the FRRUF Cup champion. So congratulations to Iceman, and I'm going to hand over to Dre and Adam 4600 to see if they've got any questions for him.
I sure do. Most of that race, you had a kind of a growth on your rear bumper, if you will. Dover was all over you. Want to talk about that some?
Yeah, it's a bit of an intense race, really, wasn't it? I think the thing with Monza, it's all about slipstreaming. So if you're the guy in front, you're going to have someone right behind you for the whole race. Fair play to him. He raced pretty clean. I think we made had a couple of touches, and it got interesting when Casely got involved as well. But that was a great race. I really enjoyed that one, and it was always good to come on top.
Yeah, I'm sure it's always fun. I always have a blast racing close like that. Also, though, he kept it pretty clean, but it seemed like he was all over you, even when he wasn't slipstreaming, but he couldn't make a pass. Just because you held that line, is that why he couldn't get through, or were you blocking him at all that we didn't see?
Yeah.
Notice?
Well, I wasn't making any double moves or anything, just holding the inside line as much as I could. I thought it was good defensive driving, to be honest. So, I think we both kept it quite clean. He did get past me in the end, to be fair, with a good move on the outside. But then I think him and Casely got into contact, and I tried to keep my nose clean and got the win in the end.
Definitely good, clean race, and I'm going to definitely say that. It wasn't anything dirty, but he was all over you, and you held up pretty good for a while there.
Yeah, I did my best. But in the end, I wanted to hold on, but I think the pressure did tell in the end. But I stuck with him, and like I say, it's a slipstream track, so he couldn't get away from me. I could stay with him, and yeah, great race, and pretty happy to win the championship as well.
No, great job. Adam, got some questions?
Yes, indeed. Obviously, the only guy who could have beaten you to the title who was racing tonight was Dave the Harp. Were you aware of where he was during the race? Were you watching him at all?
Yeah, I mean, I knew where he qualified, and when we were having that battle up the front, I could see him getting closer and closer. I knew what car he had, so I could see him, and I was like in two minds whether to just settle for second or fight for first, and end up just fighting for first because that's what it's all about, isn't it? So I could see him, and he was right behind me at one stage as well. So no, great race. I think it was 5, wasn't it? I think Hulkenberg got in there as well. Yeah, I think that's one of the best races I've had on Project Cars.
It was a very good race. If it had, obviously, it all spread out in the last few laps. If it had got a bit, if Dover had kept with you during the last few laps, would you have maybe eased off to try and seal the championship rather than just get the win or try and fight for the win and potentially lose it, or would you have just kept on it for the win?
It's a tricky one because David Hart was actually quite close anyway. So if I'd have let off a little bit, he could have got right on the back of me and slipstream past me as well. So it's a tricky one to judge, especially when you're in the heat of the moment as well, and when you are fighting for it, you don't really think about letting someone pass. You try and fight for your place and fight for the win. So he was there in the background, David Hart, so I just had to keep right on it and couldn't really slack off at all.
Spoken like a true racer.
Indeed.
That's why they call me Iceman.
Well,
I've
got a couple of questions for you. Obviously, Adam mentioned just then that the field got spread out a little bit, and Casely had managed to get past you, and then heading into the second chicane, it looked like he braked a little bit too late and was going a little bit wide. But I mean, were you able to see what happened to Dover 440 just up ahead of you as well at the same corner?
Yeah, from my point, from where I was sitting, I was just trying to hold the line and try and get a good exit. I'm quite quick on that chicane, and all I could see was they both went into the corner at the same time, it seemed, and there was a bit of contact, and that actually slowed Casey up, which I wasn't expecting, so I think I touched him at the back as well. But I think it was just 2 into 1, didn't really go.
It didn't. It didn't, and 2 into 1 at the top of the standings doesn't go either. I mean, it is a shame that Marco's FG Racing and Pro Fubby weren't able to race today. I believe at least 2 of them are at Nürburgring tonight. So it was a shame, and they may sit there and go, well, if I was there, I'd have beat you, I'd have won. But what I would say to that is, you weren't there, you didn't race, and you didn't win. I'm the Iceman, I was there, I did race, and I did win. Championes. So my last question to you would be, I'm guessing you're happy with being able to call yourself champion?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I didn't think this has actually happened. And tell all my friends about this, and it's just great to be involved in the championship. It's the first time I've done anything like this as well. I've always been into the racing games, but it's the first time I've done anything like this, and to come out on top is pretty good, especially as I missed 2 rounds myself.
Okay. Well, we did have a few streaming technical difficulties tonight, so I am going to have to try and see if I can edit something together, and hopefully I can, and we'll be able to allow you to watch how you were able to take the title. Back to Dre and Adam. You got any final thoughts for Iceman?
Just a bit of a lead in too. Looking forward, does this help you with confidence or whatever, or make you want to focus more with the DTMs and
or
absolutely. Just possibly any other future cups we may have?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, this is the first time I've done anything like this, so I wasn't quite sure how I'd stack up against competition. So to win it does give you a lot of confidence, and I really would like to test myself in future cups, future challenges, and see how I can get on.
Great. We look forward to seeing it.
Good stuff.
Congratulations again, man.
Yeah, well done. Good championship win. Well done.
Cheers.
Okay, to start wrapping this up a little bit then, I mean, one thing I would add to that as well is there was a driver on the grid. He's not the fastest of drivers, but there was a driver on the grid, and if you can compete with him, then potentially you're good enough to compete at the top end of the DTMs. I'm trying to think what his name was. Casely, that's right, that's what his name was. So, and I'm saying that because he came to the chat party a little while ago. But yeah, if you're able to compete with Casely, then you're definitely no slouch. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up now. Then I want to say thank you to Dre and Adam 4600 for doing the broadcast and the commentary for us today. Yes, we've had some issues, but that's why we test this stuff out. We give it a try. So if we do have problems, we can work out ways to rectify them, and I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a chat after we finish recording here. So thank you very much to those two. As Adam mentioned earlier on in the broadcast as well, yes, Project Cars side of Front Row Racing is still looking for admins, and in many ways it is a very important request that is being asked, because if a few more people don't come forward, then there is a possibility of the level of amount of racing that Project Cars is doing on Front Row Racing is doing on Project Cars could dwindle. We do need people to host the lobbies, to broadcast the events, to do commentary on them, to do the points, to do the standings, to run the leagues. We need people in place to be able to do those things. As for anyone that watched the F1 broadcast a few nights ago, you'll have heard that Front Row Racing JS has had a change in what he's doing at work at the moment, so his time has become very limited. I'm also not going to be available, so we are going to need people to step up, and at minimum, at least if we could have the races run properly and the points done, then that would be the minimum I think the drivers would be happy with, because I know for a lot of the FRRUF drivers, and Casely may be able to comment on this, when Casely asked the FRRUF drivers if they wanted to set up this kind of league race, it probably won't get broadcast though. They were okay with it. They just wanted to race. Am I right or wrong there, Casely?
Yeah, they just wanted to race in a more of a competitive environment. So yeah, we quickly got something together.
Yep. But what we have seen from the Project Cars DTM side of things in Front Row Racing is that there is a viewer base for those races, with some fantastic viewer numbers over the course of the season. So it would be a shame to lose any of that. But as I mentioned, it is going to take for people to step up and say, you know what, I'm willing to give it a go, because I'd like to see it continue. So for the likes of Dre, who's been testing broadcasting on Fridays, he's been able to race on the Sundays, and for those that would be able to broadcast on the Sundays, they would be allowed to obviously race on the Fridays as well. But yeah, get involved. And the way to get involved, Dre, do you remember how to get involved?
Well, you can go on the PlayStation community, Front Row Racing community on the PlayStation, or you can go to the Facebook, which you would have to say exactly so I don't mess it up.
Front Row Racing.
Okay, well, it's pretty simple then.
Yep. Yeah, just drop us a message, and it's as simple as that, and we'll see what we can do for you. Anyway, time to bring this show to an end. So once again, final well done to Iceman for a fantastic race there and taking the FRRUF Cup Championship. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.